So this is our first question of DPP assignment. It is chapter number 3, motion in straight line and motion in plane. So it's basically kinematics topic. The question is, a ball is thrown upwards, draw its velocity time graph. So it is very easy question. Let us draw the velocity time graph of this particular situation. So let us say this is my velocity axis and this is my time axis. Now ball is thrown upwards. Okay, so let us say this is ball, it is thrown upwards. What will happen if we throw it with some velocity u? Okay, there is acceleration due to gravity g downwards, which will reduce this velocity u, and at certain time after reaching the maximum height it will have velocity equal to 0. So initially it has some velocity u, and after some time its velocity becomes 0 while it reaches the maximum height. Okay, so we have to draw velocity time graph. So over the time the velocity will first it will decrease. Okay, now velocity will decrease from u to 0. So here the initial velocity will be u, so graph will start from here. At time t equal to 0 the point will be here, and at after some time, let us say t, the value of velocity will be 0. So this will be the second situation. Okay, so from this to this, whether it will be a straight line or whether it will be curve, that depends on the slope. So slope of velocity time graph is acceleration, velocity divided by time, change in velocity upon time is acceleration, and here acceleration is g, which is constant. It means it will have a constant slope. So here the graph will have slope like this. And if we consider upward motion as positive, then downward acceleration is negative, so this slope should be negative. Okay, and if you look at this graph, the slope is negative. That's it. Okay, now let us consider the second question of DPP, chapter 3, kinematics. An object is thrown vertically upwards from the surface of the earth. Okay, so let us consider a ball. This is earth, ground level, and we have thrown a ball vertically upwards. Since we are throwing the ball, so we will throw it by some initial velocity u. Okay, now let us look at the question. Thrown upwards from the surface of the earth. If upward direction is taken as positive, okay, this direction is taken as positive, so let us say this is y axis or displacement axis, and it is positive direction. Okay, what is the direction of velocity and acceleration of object during its upward and downward motion? So during upward motion, if we look at the direction of velocity, since the object is moving upwards, its displacement is in this direction, so its velocity is also in this direction. So velocity is in upward direction, or we can say velocity is positive. Okay, and what about acceleration? Since this object is moving under the action of gravity, so gravity acts always downwards, and that's why acceleration due to gravity g is always downwards during this kind of motion. So acceleration is downwards. Okay, so we have defined the direction of acceleration, and see, upward direction is taken as positive. What is the direction of velocity and acceleration of object during upward and downward motion? So during upward motion, velocity is upwards and acceleration is downward. During downward motion, what will happen? Since earth always cools down, so acceleration still remains down. In second case also, acceleration will remain downward. And what about velocity? If you look at the motion, this object will move to the highest point where its velocity becomes 0. It stops momentarily and then it comes back down. So when it is moving down, its velocity is downwards. Okay, so velocity direction is downwards. Fine, so this is our answer. Now question number 3. A ball is thrown upwards. What is its velocity and acceleration at the highest point? Again, this is a easy question. ball is thrown upwards. Okay, so let us consider again the same situation. This is ball, this is thrown upwards with some velocity u. At highest point, what will happen? This ball will turn back. So this is turning point, and at turning point, what happens? The velocity v becomes 0 since acceleration is downwards, which is g. The velocity will gradually decrease, and ultimately it will become 0 at the highest point, and then it will come back. So at highest point, velocity is 0. And what about acceleration? Since the motion is under gravity, the acceleration g is constant, which is acceleration is equal to g, and it is constant. Now let's see question number 4. What is the acceleration of a body when its velocity time graph is perpendicular to the time axis and parallel to the time axis? So let us draw velocity time graph first in each case. So case number 1, as per the question, case number 1, we have to draw VT graph. VT means velocity time graph. This is velocity axis, this is time axis, and as far as the question is concerned, what is the acceleration? We have to find acceleration when its velocity time graph is perpendicular to the time axis. So this is our time axis, okay, and the graph is perpendicular to the time axis means the graph is like this. Okay, so obviously it is parallel to v and it is perpendicular to time axis. So what can you say about slope of this graph? Slope of velocity time graph is equal to acceleration. We know that slope of velocity time graph is dv by dt. Rate of change of v is acceleration. And if you look at this line, so since the line is perpendicular to x-axis or this axis, we can say that slope is tan of theta, and tan of, here the theta is 90, so tan of 90 is infinite, so slope is infinite, means acceleration is infinite. Okay, let us consider the second situation, parallel to time axis. So in second situation, let us draw the second situation in the same graph. Suppose this is the second situation, this is first situation, this is our second situation. So second situation says that the graph is parallel to time axis, this is time axis, then and the graph is parallel to time axis. So in second situation, since graph is parallel to time axis, so for any line, if this is parallel to time axis means theta is 0 and slope equal to acceleration, and acceleration slope, formula for slope is tan of theta, and if theta is 0, so tan of 0 is 0. This means slope is 0, and it also means slope equal to 0. This also implies that acceleration is 0. So in our first case the acceleration is infinite, and in second case the acceleration is 0. Okay, now question number 5. Is it possible that an object moving with decreasing speed have constant acceleration? So basically, if we consider motion of an object in this direction, let us say this is velocity v of an object, so object is moving, this object is moving in this direction with velocity v. If acceleration is in this direction, then v increases. If velocity and acceleration are in same direction, then velocity increases. And if velocity and acceleration are in opposite direction or at some angle like this, okay, then what will happen? Velocity will decrease. So as far as the question is concerned, is it possible that an object moving with decreasing speed have constant acceleration? So answer is yes, if velocity is forward and if the object is having backward acceleration opposite to the velocity direction, and this acceleration is constant also, then also the velocity will decrease. And if you want a real life example, if you throw a ball upwards with velocity u, okay, so what will happen? Since the acceleration due to gravity g, which is constant and it is in opposite direction to the motion of this ball moving upwards, then the velocity of this ball will decrease as it goes up, okay, and still the acceleration is constant. Okay, so here g is constant, which is constant acceleration. Okay, So as far as the question is concerned, answer is yes, it is possible. Okay, let us look at the question number 6. The position s of a particle moving along a straight line at time t is given by s equal to, this is equation for position, remember that this is not displacement, it is position. Okay, and it is given by this equation. Find the velocity at time t. We know that velocity is given by rate of change of position. Okay, this is instantaneous position. So if we differentiate this d by dt of this equation, at cube plus bt raised to 5. And how to differentiate this? Since a and b are constant, forget about a and b. T raised to 3, t cube, derivative of t raised to 3 is 3t square, plus b, derivative of t raised to 5 is 5t raised to 4. Fine, 5t raised to 4. Now this is velocity, equation for velocity. Now we want velocity at 1 second. So at t equal to 1 second, what we have to put? We have to put t equal to 1 second here. So we get v equal to a, 3 into 1 square is 3, 3 into 1 square is 3 into a, 3a, plus 5 into 1 raised to 4 is again 5, 5 into b is 5b. So this is our answer. Very easy question. Now question number 7. What is the distance traveled by a body thrown upwards with a speed of 20 meter per second under the effect of gravity in first second of its motion? So basically it's a motion under gravity. So let us draw the diagram here. Let us say this is ground, and let us say we have a ball thrown upwards. Okay, and the velocity here is 20 meter per second. So here u equal to 20 meter per second, u equal to 20 meter per second. Okay, and under the effect of gravity, so let us say it has downward acceleration g, and as far as our convention is concerned, we will take upward direction as positive direction. Fine, so our acceleration g will be downward, so we will take it as minus of 10 meter per second square. Value of g is 9.8, but we will take 10 for our simplicity of calculation. Okay, so under the effect of gravity in first second of motion, so what we have to find is distance. So we have to find the distance traveled, as since the motion is in straight line, so distance and displacement will be same as far as the motion is concerned. Okay, so in first second we have to find the displacement in first second of its motion. So time equal to 1 second. Okay, now it's a simple question. What we will do, we will use this formula, s equal to ut plus half at square. Okay, and then we'll put the value. What is value of u? Initial velocity is 20, time is 1 second plus half, and acceleration here is minus of 10, time is again 1 square. So what we get here is 20, and this will be minus 10 by 2 will be 5, so this will be 15 meter. Okay, so the answer is 15 meter. Now let us look at the second question. Draw a position time graph of an object moving with zero acceleration. Now if acceleration is 0, this implies dv by dt is 0, slope of vt graph is 0. Okay, but now draw the position time graph of object. We have to draw position time graph. Slope of velocity time graph is 0. It means if we draw vt graph, it should look like this. Okay, means the velocity is constant, and if velocity is constant, what kind of graph we get in xt? Since velocity is constant, when velocity is constant, it's a uniform motion. Since acceleration 0, it means the velocity, rate of change of velocity is 0, it means velocity is constant, and if velocity is constant, it's a uniform motion. And we already know the graph for uniform motion. So graph will look like this, either this one, or we can also say that the graph could be like this also. Okay, in both the cases the velocity is this slope and it will be a constant value. Okay, since slope of a straight line is constant, so velocity in these both cases is constant. So this is also correct answer and this is also correct answer. So we get two possible answers here. Question number 9. The position time graph of two objects A and B is shown below. So this is the graph given. Which one is moving with greater velocity? It's a very simple question. You should know one concept. What is the concept? The slope of xt graph is velocity. This is the concept that you should know to solve this question. So slope of this graph is velocity, and if you look at slope of A and slope of V is more, since the angle is more. Tan of 60 is more than tan of 45. So we can say B is moving at higher velocity than A, since its slope is more. Okay, you can remember that slope of parallel line is 0 and slope increases as we go like this, parallel to this axis. Okay, and in this case if we have line like this, then the slope is infinite, and if we have line like this, then the slope is 0. Simple concept. Okay, now last question of our assignment. Mention the condition when an object in motion can be considered as a point object. Okay, so when objects are considered under motion, let us say this is object, and if we say its size or diameter is d. Okay, let us consider a round object and its diameter is d, and if we consider the motion of this object from here to here, and let us say its distance covered is capital D, then we can consider this object as point object if the distance d which we measure during its motion is very greater than the size of object d. So if size of object is very small compared to the motion or distances involved in motion, then we can say that the object is point object. Okay, here we go. We have completed all the assignment questions. Okay, and still if you have any doubt, then just WhatsApp me.